Hey there guys, so let's talk a little bit more about the upcoming World Boxing Super Series. Now, one of the fights that I wanted to talk about, I thought about just doing a breakdown for this one, was the upcoming fight between Oleksandr Usyk and Marco Huck for Oleksandr Usyk's WBO title, the same title that Marco Huck actually held for many years, actually, the WBO Cruiserweight title. So this is obviously a chance for him to try and regain his old crown. Now, you guys know that I'm a big fan of Marco Huck. I'm a big fan of both of these guys, to be honest. I really like them both. But Marco Huck is a guy that I've been watching for many years. I've watched quite a few of his fights live, and he's been in so many entertaining fights, so many back and forth wars that I've become a big fan of the guy over the years. But I gotta be honest, guys. I think that out of all the guys in this tournament, he's probably gotten the worst draw out of everybody. Oleksandr Usyk is one of the most awkward and difficult guys to train for, based on the fact that he's a tall, slick, very athletic southpaw with quick hands for a cruiserweight, quick feet, great balance, and I just think that for Marco Huck to prepare for this one, it's going to be very difficult. I mean, to find sparring partners, to find guys that can emulate Usyk's skills. I mean, just imagine fighting a 200-pound version of Vasyl Lomachenko. That's what you've got right there in Usyk. The guy's very talented. So yeah, it's a very big ask for Marco Huck, and obviously I'm going to be picking Usyk to win the fight. I think that he's just too skilled. Marco Huck in his last fight was completely and utterly outboxed by Myris Briedis. He outboxed Marco Huck, and that fight was in Germany, which is Marco Huck's backyard, and he got schooled in front of his own fans. And this fight, I believe, I'm not 100% sure, but I believe it's going to be taking place in Ukraine. So this is going to be in Usyk's backyard, so he's going to have the home advantage. And I just think that it doesn't bode well for Marco Huck going into this fight. So it's not really a hard one to predict. I think that Usyk, with his superior hand speed, he has much faster hands than Huck. Better balance, better footwork, much better defense, probably better stamina too, because although Marco Huck used to have very good stamina, and used to be a very good athlete, over the years he's kind of declined, because in his last fight against Myris Briedis, and also in his fight against Kutcher too, Marco Huck didn't really seem to have great stamina to me. He seemed to fall apart later in those fights, and there was quite a lot of holding too against Briedis. Huck seemed to need to get a break every now and then. He kind of reminded me of Arthur Abraham, in the sense that he's holding his hands up, and he'll lean on the ropes and stuff, and he'll just absorb punishment on the guard because he needs to catch a break, and he's trying to slow the pace of the fight, trying to get his opponent to punch themselves out. But obviously, a smart technician like Myris Briedis wasn't going to fall for that, and I don't think that Oleksandr Usyk would fall for that either. I think Usyk, to me, is too skilled. I can see him, just taking his time, taking a look at Huck, just working the jab. And I just think that the difference in foot speed, the difference in hand speed, and apparently the difference in stamina too, because I think that against Michael Hunter in Usyk's last fight, even though Usyk got off to a very bad start, he finished the fight very strongly. He closed it very strongly. He showed a heck of a lot of stamina in the last round. I mean, in the 12th round, he almost got the stoppage. So I think that these guys are just so far apart in terms of speed and athleticism and boxing skill and defense, and the amateur background that Usyk had with being a top Olympian, an Olympic gold medalist and whatnot. I just think that he has too much for Huck, and I think it's going to be a one-sided. Probably a decision. The reason I say a decision is, although Marco Huck has been stopped twice before, both of those stoppages were late in the last two rounds. One of them was in the 11th round against Glavatsky, and the other one was in the 12th round against Cunningham, and that was very early on in Huck's career when he had a lot of. Well, he had hardly any experience for the Cunningham fight. Obviously, for the Glavatsky fight, he was a seasoned champion at that point. But for the Cunningham fight, it was very early on. And I don't really think that Usyk has the kind of one-punch power that Krzysztof Glavatsky is. Now, I'm not saying he can't get the stoppage. Obviously, it's possible. But I just think that if Huck kind of goes into his shell a little bit, and if he can find a way to kind of mess Usyk about in there, because Huck is a very rough and tough type of guy in there. You know, sometimes he'll be very, very, you know, if he can't outbox his opponent, he'll just throw caution to the wind, and he'll get in there and he'll just rabbit punch and stuff like that, and it can take his opponent, you know, it can kind of throw the opponent off their game. And I think that if he wants to go to the decision, if he wants to go the distance, if he, you know, kind of old man's his way through the fight with all the veteran skills that he's picked up over the years, with all the experience that he has, because he is the more experienced professional here, by far, in fact. I just think that he can go the distance if he wants to. But, you know, obviously a stoppage is possible. But either way, I favour Oleksandr Usyk to win the fight. I think the most likely outcome is a decision, but stoppage wouldn't surprise me. But I'm going to go with Usyk by a comfortable decision. Let me know what you guys think anyway. I was thinking of maybe doing all these World Series of Boxing breakdowns in one video, but you know, I can't really be bothered with that. I'm just gonna do this one for now, and then we'll see about the other fights later. Let me know what you guys think anyway, and thanks for watching.